Healing Plants of Nigeria, a book on ethnomedicare and therapeutic application, has been presented and launched in Abuja. The public presentation had in attendance distinguished members of the political class and the health sector of the nation. CTV Delphine Asu reports.
Health indeed is wealth, as expounded on by the distinguished guests who attended the public presentation of the book Healing Plants of Nigeria. The guest speaker, Professor Labanjo Kunle, spoke extensively on traditional medicine practice in Nigeria, from the challenges to achievements and the goals of mainstreaming.
So what can we do to mainstream this process? Let me start by mentioning what I think we can do in terms of traditional medicine practice. First, let us give identity to our TMPs. Let's define who a traditional medicine practitioner is. Then we should create a regulatory framework for the practice. I know they may not want to hear this, but we have to regulate. Let's discuss what kind of regulation, but there must be regulation. We must document practice, and we should then pool the human and material resources available to us to use for the documentation of traditional medicine.
The Minister of Science and Technology of the Federation and guest of honor, Dr. Bonaya Onu, x-rayed the benefits of traditional medicine practice on the economy of the nation and the effort of the ministry towards promoting the practice.
Natural Medicine Development Agency will get in touch with him and show him and tell him the things that we have been doing. We have been keeping record of, the herbs, the plants, medicinal plants we have all over the country. As a matter of fact, I have been signing it on zonal basis. And in each zone of the 6 geopolitical zones, 200 million people must be able to feed herself. Because if you don't, you are going to have very serious problems. Insecurity will be far worse when people are hungry and they have nothing to eat. So minus that, health is so important. And this is an area that we can lead the world. And we will lead the world by the grace of Almighty God.
I want to thank the authors because in all this, it became very clear that the awareness has not been there. These kind of programs and the intellectual work they did is to really to bring to the front burner some of the endowments by God in our land, which over time we have neglected or refused to recognize. And we are busy traveling out there looking for things that will not even help us, sometimes at very expensive cost. It is a task for our researchers to go down to this bush, identify these plants, bring them out, and then process them, and bring also discipline in the implementation of the plants as a solution to the various ailments and illnesses in our country.
Professor Issa Mart Hussaini, represented by Professor Sakomba Samba, gave an overview of the book's content.
Raw Material Research and Development Council. He asked me to come here and represent him at this very, very important occasion in which distinguished authors are putting together the medicinal plants that are called, that can heal different diseases in the country. In particular, Professor Morris Iwu, we'd like to appreciate you. We have worked with you and we're still working with you to develop traditional plants, particularly active pharmaceutical ingredients from mushroom species, local species in Nigeria. That project has gone far. We are also working with the Federal Ministry of Health to develop Martinez.
There were remarks from the authors, Reverend Father Anselm Adodo and Professor Maurice Iwu, who shared the experience of working together and an insight into traditional medicine.
I was happy that people would think that I wrote it, because they were such elegant prose, and I was so happy we have collaborated. And I think and I hope Nigerian government will be able to market some of the ideas that we have here. I'm also glad that the Central Bank of Nigeria has recognized traditional medicine and medicinal plant as a very viable area to go to. I also want to congratulate and appreciate the amount of money government has now devoted into research. I think if we take advantage of that, it will bear fruit.
Highlights of the event was the unveiling of the book and the launching done by the representatives of various organizations.
It's with happiness that I now unveil this wonderful book.
The chairman of the occasion and presidential aspirant, Adewale Adebayo Esquire, while launching the book, emphasized on the need for mainstreaming and called for the involvement of youths. Some guests spoke with pressmen.
So for me, it is something that we must take very seriously, and luckily, the Central Bank of Nigeria is now funding our raw materials and the research centers to be able to come up with a homegrown solution.
It will become commonplace, and that was why when I launched the book, I made sure that the copy is sent to every college of pharmacy, every faculty of pharmacy, so that we don't see who and say, oh, what a wonder. We should produce as many of them as possible.
When we preach about poverty alleviation, people are hungry, there are many ways of helping people. It's not just by preaching to them. So the herbal medicine also involves giving job to people, empowering young people, because there's no job there for everyone. So this is a very important area where we can help the government to see the potentials available in making life better.
In Abuja, for CTV News, Delphine Asu reporting.